Hello and welcome to another episode. I am so excited this week to talk about female rising, such an important topic with an amazing guest speaker, guest for me today, and this is the lovely Kelisha. So Kelisha, do you want to say hi and introduce everybody to who you are?
Hello everyone, how you doing? I'm Kelisha Taylor and I am the owner and founder of She Awakening, which stands for Survivors Healing Empowerment. I'm a self-love mentor and I help women that have experienced abuse or who are on a self-love journey, seek and reclaim back their true brilliance again so they can live a non-conform life to be the badass women that were born to be.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And can I just say, like, when I'm in a room with Kelisha, my energy, so I'm probably going to get quite giddy and excited and passionate today because that is
I'm
what
a sugar
happens.
fix.
Yeah, it is like I just go whoop, right up. But it's good. It's good to be in rooms with people that make you feel like that and that you can share the things you're passionate about and talk about with, which is amazing. And it's good to be that kind of person that brings that energy as well. So hats off to you. And because that's because you show up as yourself. And I guess that's part of female empowerment, isn't it? And rising as a female yourself. So first thing I'd like to actually talk about is how you, and you can dive into this as much as you want, how you came into this place of this is what you want to do in the world of business.
For me, I went through domestic abuse and I've been out of it now 10 years. So I'm now a thriver of domestic abuse. Well,
Oh,
a
I love
survivor. We're thrive. When you get out of domestic abuse, you are a survivor. But when you get to a certain level, you're a thriver. So I left there. I had to go through 5 years worth of healing. It was like that traumatic, that bad. I lost my identity. I lost myself. I lost everything about me. I didn't know who I was. I had multiple personalities. I didn't know who I am, which probably wasn't probably so high vibe today, but now this is all me. And I had to just reconnect back with myself. And I struggled in business. That was the hardest one. Wasn't shut up as I was. And then I had this fear of the color of my skin being an issue as well. So obviously I've got all these insecurities, all these self-doubts. So my color of my skin was one. I didn't know how to show up properly. I would take bits of everybody and try to make it my own, trying to get by in business. I struggled with being a mother, didn't have that bond with my children anymore. So my life was just falling apart day by day. And for me to be that successful entrepreneur that I've always dreamed of being, helping other women, it just wasn't happening. No matter
it.
what I did, I took all the mindset courses. I paid for coaches, you name it. I paid for it all, but it wasn't working whatsoever. And this is when I realized that something really had to change. That even though I wanted that business of my dreams, I had to make the change within myself first, and that a
Yeah,
business actually needs 80% of you to be whole. As in, you're the full 100, but when you bring that full 100 into your business, it needs that 80% you, and that additional
yeah.
20% needs to be your business.
It's so true though, isn't it? Like, and I hate admitting this because as someone who's very a logical speaker, strategic, and obviously don't get me wrong, I do the inner work a lot. But because I am so masculine energy, as we call it, I don't like admitting it, but it is true. It is 80-20 because 80% of the inner stuff affects the 20% of the strategy that you put in, which gets you the results, attracts the right people, and all that
Exactly.
good that we actually want. And you actually touched on a topic there that I love to talk about, and I'm going to pick it out if you don't mind, because I
Sweet.
feel awareness is super, super, super important, and I am passionate about. So, like, some of the things I am passionate about is equality and diversity because of, I guess, my own upbringing and my own challenges in my own life. Um, and then over, lockdown and things that have happened, I've had more awareness to things that I guess I never knew existed or were happening in the world. As you can imagine, there's many of those types of things. And then one thing that really, really gets grinds my gears is what's the word? Like, I can't think of the word now, it begins with D. Oh, I've lost it. But when basically you are not included or there's no inclusion for because of your race, your disability,
Oh,
or
inclusivity. That's how you pronounce it.
can't remember
Inclusivity.
what I was going to
I'm a
say.
black
But
blonde, so you got to bear with me.
I love when you say that black blog. I absolutely love it. But that kind
Inclusivity,
of
I'm
like,
sure inclusivity. I can't pronounce the word properly, but your views will laugh
yeah,
anyways. Oh boy.
can't think of the word is, but like, so like for any of these issues like homophobia, all of these kind of issues that are very still present, unfortunately, in the world today. And one of the things that I'm hugely passionate about is racism. And one thing that I discovered after certain things that we all saw in the media was that I didn't realize I had white privilege, and people are afraid to talk about it. And I'm not afraid to talk about it because I think it needs to be talked about so that we can take action to make a difference. So I'd be interested to know how challenging that was to rise as a female, but not just a female, but a black female in this industry, and how that kind of came up for you, because nobody talks about this. Nobody
You
talks
know
about it.
what, Danny? This is why I get along with you, and I love and appreciate you so much. People don't talk about this, and there are times when I've been scared to even talk about this type of thing as well. I don't want to be
Because
seen as,
is
oh,
that
she
kind of judgment? Because this is why I
judgment.
don't talk about it, because people must think I'm, because I haven't been through it as a white woman. I feel like people are going to think I don't know what I'm talking about, which I guess I don't because I've not experienced it. But I want to talk about it so that as a white woman and a person, we can make a difference.
Wow,
So
you know
that
what?
was
Wow, like I'm afraid sometimes. Well, of late I've been speaking about it in my content, but you'll see me dropping bits of it.
my.
It's not about division to say, as a black woman, I've gone through this. It's
Yeah.
about crying out to say, we as black women, we have it harder.
Mm.
And unless you've experienced the journey, you won't really understand. Some people think that we're paranoid, like we say, like, oh, the algorithm favors this, or whatever else. But oh wow, you've touched a topic here. And I'm
No,
so
it's
glad
a
you
tough
did.
topic. It is.
Wow. I'm not about division because for me, it's just a colour. But in the world, it's different. It's been this way for many, many years. As a black woman, I have to show up more differently. This is why sometimes a lot of black women you'll see in who they will act all these different types of way. Some will get through, and some of us we don't. We still have to keep plowing on. We still have to work that extra 10% or 20% more harder than our white counterparts. I've seen
Mm.
back in like 2000, I've been doing self-love content. I've seen a white lady doing self-love content. Our content is exactly the same. I even went as far to even copy her content, and still that is not being pushed out.
Wow.
The struggle is real, but I've got to that point where I didn't ask to be black. The person didn't
Yeah.
ask to be Asian. The person didn't ask to be white. We didn't ask to have pink and purple spots all over us. It's just a system and society that's been created. Those who see it and those who see it, they will get it. Those who don't see it is what it is. I'm just here to show up, and I pray the universe sends the people to me that need to see what they need to see. If I focus on my skin color anymore than it being a problem, I'm never going to achieve anything in life.
And that's with anything, isn't it, though? Because if we see that as an issue, we are kind of manifesting it in a way, in a sense, as well,
That's what
where
we
we put
attract.
focus on it, yeah, and we do attract it back. Because I've done that before, in different scenarios with money, with love, with health, all of that stuff. Because if we put a negative focus on it, we attract. It's like for like, isn't it? We get it back. But I do think it's such an important topic, and people need to have that awareness of it. Like, and I disagree with it. I think the way society is, there's still a long way to evolve. I guess evolve is the word. We need to evolve a bit more. But you
Yeah.
have risen. You have risen amazingly. I have watched your growth over the past, I don't know, year or so, and I absolutely love seeing it. So I'd love you to share about, how you empower others and how rising as a female entrepreneur is super, super important.
How I empower the people, I just tell them exactly as it is.
Love
My
it.
mouth is the healer. That's just it. If you come to me, I have the gift to channel. I found this out 2020 when I came to my spiritual awakening. I wanted to know what my gift was. What am I here to do? And I spent 6 months literally reading people around the world with the testimonials to prove it without knowing a thing about them.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, how did you know? How did you know that? I saw that resonate. I've got clarity. I've got guide, and I realized that's where my powers is. I use my experiences and I share with other people, and I like to, I call them, annoy them with provoking thought questions for them to self-reflect, because a lot of time people come to me for the answer. I don't have the answers to give them. I genuinely
Yeah,
don't. But I can take that question, I can turn it back around, and for you to be like, listen, search within. You have your own. This is why I tell people, do not have a superhero or have me not what do you call it, like a role model. Don't look up to that at all. The only role model you have is the voice within.
oh,
There's no
I love
celebrity. There's no this. There's no that can guide you other than your own voice within. That's the only superhero that you have that you need. So for me, I'll just speak some truth to them. It just is what it is. My mouth is the sword. It's either it makes you or it breaks you. And 99.9% of the time, people leave with like, I've got clarity. Where people struggle with now is taking the action. So this is
yeah,
why female empowerment for me is that one step further. I will hold you accountable. I've held plenty of women accountable, and some women have actually fell off the wagon because I'm on you every single day. Because I see something in you that you don't see in yourself. Now, I can only go so far because I'm not here to hold anybody's hand. You need to take the first step and see that thing in you first to push yourself further. So I always tell women that, listen, you're at point A and I'm at point B. And if you want to see me there, you've got to get moving. I can give
yeah,
you all the love and guidance, whatever that I can give you. That's just me, but I can't do anymore. And I'm not going to walk and literally hold your hand if you're not willing to drag your own self and get moving.
yeah,
So female empowerment for me means a lot. It's my core. Um, Even with raising boys, obviously we are that divine feminine, that divine masculine energy. So when I'm speaking to them, I'm speaking to them that motherly, masculine type energy to say, listen, self is important. If you don't value yourself, no one's going to give a flying toss about you because we're all busy. The latest talk now for 2023 is I'm busy. I've got a lot on. I'm a busy woman. I'm busy. I'm like, for crying out loud. Nothing's got any more busier. You just chose to make work more busier for yourself.
we do make ourselves more busy. We do it.
If you sit down and write down your day-to-day life and you pull out half the crap that's in there, you don't have to be that busy. You just choose to make yourself that busy. And if you
Yeah,
can't make time for mindfulness, which mindfulness is a massive part of female empowerment, then you've got a problem, because if you can't tune into yourself, then what are you empowering?
that's so true. And I feel like we have the privilege of choice, don't we? That we
Yes.
can choose. I mean, obviously certain situations are different for different people, like, caring responsibilities, full-time jobs, whatever the
Yes.
situation, stuff like that. But we do have choice in where we spend our time, what we do with our time, how we delegate, how taking responsibility for our time and things like that. And actually, it's probably choice empowers us as well as women to build a business, because we can use it or lose it, or we've got to make those decisions for ourselves. What would be your biggest advice to someone who feels that they're not where they want to be and they want to rise up? And that could be mentally, physically, emotionally, it could be in their business, it could be, oh, there's so many scenarios, isn't there? Because it could be like they want to get healthy, they want to, I don't know, learn something new. Whatever situation it be, if you as a woman want to rise up, what would be the best advice that you could give someone that's
Wow, this
feeling?
is an amazing question, because at the moment I've not long created my own academy. And before I even get to the healing process, which I've purposely took out the healing section in the whole academy, the number one thing you have to do is step into your becoming.
Yeah,
So you want to rise, you're struggling this, you're struggling that. Well, the only thing that's going to help you take even more aligned action is to step into that becoming and going into what I call the soulmate self. Who is your soulmate self? You need to align with the values of her. Now, when I said to somebody the other day about soulmate self, I thought, who is that? Like, I said, no, your soulmate self is you, because you develop a relationship with yourself. You are your true lover. We go out trying to
oh,
see, yes, we go out trying to seek this perfect man or woman, and they're going to be there for, that is a lot of BS. Forget that first, okay? Get yourself in check first. So seek yourself. What's your truth? What's your values? What's your why? What's your vision? What's your mission? How does she walk, act, talk, speak? You name it. How does she dress? How can you, do you feel it? My body's tingling. can embody the energy of her. If you want to be more confident, okay, then well, what does this confident version of yourself look like? If you have to name her, name her. I'll tell you this little secret. My name used to be Annette once. I changed it by default. Annette was the softie that always bent over backwards, the people pleaser, the one that everyone took the piss with, the one that had div wrote across her head. Everyone always took advantage of Annette. But Kelisha got birth 2013. Kelisha doesn't take no more BS. Kelisha is this type of person. She's confident, she's bougie, she's bold, she's bossy, she's brash, she's high energy, she's sugar rush. That's who Kelisha is. So when you're speaking to Kelisha, you best be prepared to have on that energy, because my soulmate self doesn't accept anything less. You start to take one attribute of that person and you embody it. Now, you can try it for a day to say if it's more confidence. What does confidence look like to you? Okay, then step into that energy. Oh, that felt nice. Come back now. Right. How I've been living my life every day. I don't like how this feels. I'm going to do it again tomorrow. If you want to, give it a week's trial. Embody that energy and see the person that you are by the end of the day or the week. It's absolutely is a game changer.
I love that because it's something I've been working on. And it has been a massive part of my evolution in my life and business and everything, really, because embodying who you truly want to be and stepping into that is such a superpower. And like you said earlier, it's within you. Like, no one can do that other than there's something I say to my boys all the time, because he made me do that. No, he didn't. You are responsible for your own words and actions. And I think even as adults, we forget that. We forget to hold responsibility, and we are responsible of being and becoming that person that we want to be. Absolutely. I love all of that. That's just amazing. Like, everything you talk about, everything you do just lights me up. And people need to hear this more. You are such a true inspiration. You really are. So tell us a little bit more about tell us a little bit more about the work that you do and how people can work with you.
Yeah, so I have my academy, which is called She Awakening Academy. So you come in there as a survivor and you leave as a thriver. So by the end of it, you'll be shining higher energy. You get it? She shining higher energy? Yeah. And basically, you come in there and you just got to just be ready to take the action. I'll guide you through it. Now, one thing I tell people with the academy, I don't teach you anything. I just know how to trigger you. The workbooks in there, self-love resources, and you go through the journey of stepping into that becoming, understanding limiting beliefs, understanding your thought process. Basically, you go back to dating your own self, because that's what it is. It's building a relationship with yourself. I always tell people that you want a relationship, you want to be the better, successful person, where to have everything that you want externally, you're going to have to date yourself first. Because one thing I've noticed, I said, I should become a relationship coach for you, for yourself, right? We'll get there eventually. But when people say, I'm looking for my other half, well, mate, your other half is yourself. So therefore, get your other half to make it whole again. Get that in alignment first. And through the academy, you can do that. So you'll start to see more improvements in your business, because you'll start being more conscious aware of how you speak, how you act, how this doesn't feel like me. You got to be careful as well, because the people you surround yourself with, you usually take on their energies that become your energy. That isn't you. So you got to get that off you. So we really like to dig down into who you are at your core, getting to know and understand that, and then stepping into becoming. Once you've experienced that experience and that journey, then we like to step into the part of now the healing. We're taking you back years and years and years, and we'll start to dig up the past. And I like to tell people, it's like having roots in your garden. You can pluck that root out, but it's still going to grow again. You got to dig, go further, go underground, go to the soils, take those roots all out, re-examine it. Now, there's a method I like to speak about, which is called the self method, and it stands for surrender, evaluate, love, and focus. So you've got to surrender to what is holding you back, evaluate it so you know you don't make those mistakes again. Learn to love yourself. That's the most important thing. That's the heaviest focus on what I do. And then focusing where you want to be, what's your next step, where do you want to go?
Oh, amazing. Is that, like, if you feel like that is what you need, then you need to get into Kelisha's world. And we will include all the details of that and the link, so you can have a nosy around, because She is such a great person to be around. It's amazing. And always. Thank you so much for joining us. If we want to come and find you, where can we find you to connect with you?
I hang out on Facebook. If you type
Oh, I think we just
in
froze.
Kelisha Taylor, that is, oops, we're back.
We are, I think. We don't want
Okay.
to right now, do we? Come on.
Yeah, you'll find me over at Facebook, Kelisha Taylor.
Amazing. I love it. And the tip that I ask everybody to share at the end of every session, all my guests, what would be your biggest tip for being organised in your business?
You are in your business, you are like my number one idol. So I follow what you say. If it's not what you say, I'm not interested. The biggest tip what I learned from you was to basically arrange my days instead of time blocking, having a focus for the day. That was the biggest tip that I learned from you, because it can get overwhelming trying to block things out. And at 3 o'clock, you've got this, which sometimes you run over. So knowing that for you focus for the day, I've got to do this, do that, do the other. Knowing that admin day for me is on a Sunday, get all my content stuff done has been the biggest game changer and leaves more free time with my family, which is most important.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest values, and I've got content I'm going to share about this actually. That my biggest win, my own business coach asked me the other day, "What's your biggest achievement right now?" Or like, "What's your one that you're most proud of?" And previously, I'd always said like money I've earned or things I've bought, and this time actually it's the freedom and the schedule that I've created now that allows me to be more present for my family, which says a lot about my own values. So I'm with you on that. I love that. That
Yeah, I
freedom
love
time.
for you, for me, I'm going to add in two because we're throwing a double whammy. But for you, it's the fact you showed me that I can have more free time, just create those systems. Do you understand
Yeah.
me? Like now, like the email system for me is now my go-to. I love my email system. But again, I've been stubborn for years to do it. But you showed me the value in it and how you can have that more free time. And basically, it's someone doing the work for you while you're got your feet up for a little bit, doing focus on other things in your life or probably focus on the family. So those are the two. You asked for one, but you got two today. And I'm rebellious. But definitely you've changed my life in terms of how I see things and the more time that I can have. So now when I'm creating things, it's with the mindset of how can I make more free time for myself.
I love that. Oh, thank you for sharing those double whammy of tips and everything you've talked about today. Some serious topics, some amazing advice. And I think from that, just listening to that, I think like replay it, take on board what Kelisha says, find your soulmate within inside yourself, connect with yourself, love with yourself. And if you're struggling to do it alone, you know who the girl is to go and speak to now. She's right there.
I'm your girl. I'm gonna whoop your ass though, so you better be ready to work.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much. This has been so fun and so cool to talk on. And hopefully we'll have you back soon.
No problem.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you again next time.